I am Manuel León Ponce, and I am a professor at Florida State University. I teach design studios and a preservation course. It's always very rewarding for me to teach, and sometimes, of course, teaching undergraduates is what I do for a living. And I had an experience teaching professionals, and to me it was so much more rewarding because perhaps it's the vantage point of life, of seeing things in a different light. You can see that sometimes there is a higher interest. The undergraduates at that time, George Bernard Shaw said, and I know that my students are going to hate me for that, that youth is wasted on the young. But I don't blame them, because at that energy you have so much, at that age you have so much energy, and they stay up the night before, so they come to class, and even though they're interested, the professionals are different. They take these courses because they want to take the courses. And I found it the first time that I did it with a group of professionals to be very, very rewarding, that we were communicating on a level that was an equal level, for me it was extremely gratifying. Not that teaching undergraduates isn't, but it's a different way of teaching. For me it's been a new discovery. Well, Italy has always been, since the Renaissance, a mecca for people that are interested in architecture, that are interested in art, to come and study, because this is the origins of everything. And when I was in my teenage years, I always fantasized of coming to Italy with a great professor, with a tutor that would teach me and show me these unbelievable pieces of art, sculpture, painting, architecture that are of a World Heritage quality. Fortunately, I was never able to do that, so now I'm doing it with students, in this case professionals. And always we say in academia that the best way to learn is to teach. So for me, it's an incredible teaching experience to be able, and as a college professor, to be able to lecture in front, within the actual masterpieces. It enriches my professional life, my teaching. And I think my undergraduate students at Florida State, I think, see a difference in me every summer when I come back. Venice is a singular quality. It's a city, an architecture built on water. It's not, you say Amsterdam, but Amsterdam has streets and canals, all that. Venice is strictly a city built on water. You have to either go by boat or on foot. And as such, then, the buildings take on a different presence. For one thing is the light of Venice, which is so different, because you have all the water which act as a mirror. And it's not only outside. When you are inside a building in Venice, it's a quality of life. Gaia Lenti, the great architect, she understood that. And when she did the remodeling or rehabilitation of the Palazzo Grassi, which I think she did a great job, she did specific studies of the lighting and captures in artificial lighting and also the way that the works are lighted. It takes into consideration that very special quality of the light of Venice. And it's a very picturesque city. It's one city where the Gothic, which is so picturesque, predominates. It has colors are very vernacular. It has a distressed love, the poetry of the peeling plaster. I have enjoyed Venice like the Venetians do, on a private boat on a lazy Saturday afternoon from the canal, and just 3 or 4 friends together just riding around on the little boat and enjoying, saturating the senses with just the sheer beauty of the setting. It, to me, is singular. There's nothing like that in the world. Florence's importance is that it's the beginning of that recapturing of the classical culture, that very age, classical age that got interrupted when the barbarians started migrating to the south. And perhaps it's an accident of history, we don't know, I don't know why, there is such a tremendous accumulation of talent that is in the city in a very specific age, beginning in the 1400s. When you talk about Brunelleschi, you talk about Alberti, you talk about all the painters of the Quattrocento, Botticelli, Piero della Francesca, and then you have Leonardo, you have the giants, Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Raphael is from Perugia, but he lives in here. You have, and even into the 1600s, the Mannerists, Rosso Fiorentino, Pontormo. It's an unbelievable explosion of talent. Talk about the Renaissance, which is a universal term. We're talking about Florence, and from here it spreads through the rest of Italy, and from Italy to the rest of the world. You know, it doesn't get to England until the 1600s, to the north, but this, we are right at the cradle where we have that unbelievable surge of creative energy in the classical mind, the classical culture. And that's why Florence is so important, because you're totally surrounded. You're walking down the street, there is Orsa Micheli, there is a statue by Donatello. I mean, it's so, I know that many people take it for granted, but for me it's a very special type of a place, especially for people in the arts and architects and designers as well. Remember that your mind is the thing that distinguishes you from the rest of the animal kingdom. That as men, as Homo sapiens, that's one attribute that we have that makes us above the rest of the animal world. And as such, cultivate it. The mind is like the body. You need to exercise it. You need to cultivate it. Otherwise, if you don't cultivate it, if somebody doesn't teach you how to read and write, your mind is not going to do it by itself. So we have to cultivate that. And my students coming here, studying, all that contributes to the development of the mind. And I think that that is the one advice that I always tell my students is recognize the importance of your mind and exercise it. Just like so many of you are fanatic about your bodies, the mind is just as important a part of you